We talked about a myriad of issues. We talked about stupid walls. We talked about Vladimir Putin. We talked about ISIS. We talked about it all. We did not talk about the huge disconnect between African American, particularly males, and this country. In 1979, we had African American males that dropped out of high school, 13% wound up in our prisons. As of 2013, 69% who dropped out of high school wound up in prison. Yep. If we don't begin, and Dr. Drew, you know this as a clinician, if you don't deal, you don't heal. So if you don't begin to deal with what is really going on with our African-American males, you're going to have a huge problem on your hands. Republicans.
Let me get you. Dondra, I think your point is well taken. I think they can learn a lesson from you, frankly.
Two things. There was a black candidate on stage last night who's doing very well in the Republican polls right now. I don't see a black candidate in the other party.
I know a lot of Americans complain. I won't speak on your behalf. I'm connected to him.
But the main breakdown of the family is what has caused so many problems. And I heard almost every single candidate on that stage last night mention the breakdown of the family. And that's what's caused poverty in this country in the first place.
See, hold on, let me speak to this. I think the African American community is a little tired of people who are not qualified to speak to that. You gotta stop that.
Wait, Dondra, she's a therapist. She is qualified.
I get that. We're still not. Listen, let me tell you.
We deal with this all the time, and that's what we do.
Not qualified to talk about the breakdown.
Unless you've lived. You can't write this down on a piece of paper. You can't Google this.
But Dondra,
you gotta live this.
So you're saying you wanted them to address it, but they're not allowed to talk about it if they're white?
No. That's not what I said. You gotta hear me. Okay, so our exchanges, and this is exactly what's going on in our country.
Go ahead.
People are having these exchanges, but some of the folks are not hearing us.
Well, let's try.
So there is a breakdown in a portion of our families. But I've heard people say, well, we just gotta have parents that care. Let me tell you something. Black mothers, and poll them in here, care about their children.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but they've been kept down by plantation politics implemented by...
But there is something that's happening when they go to school that is, I felt a huge disconnect in school as an African-American male. When you come into a community that you are truly not invested in, and you want to come in and grab a check and go home, that's a huge difference than an educator who lives in that community who educates those children.
All right, hold on. We got to stop.